this over here is the clutch that was taken out. And so if you just look at it, you can kind of see that, you know, it's nearing the end of its life just because we don't have much meat between the top of that rivet and the top of the actual contact material for this clutch. So that's important to note. Another thing that's weird is that thing jiggles around. It shouldn't, so that's not good. And then if we flip this thing over, also, by the way, that dust is really toxic, so you don't want to inhale too much of it. But you can see on these fingers that we've got a nice little groove here. And this groove is caused by this throwout bearing inside of your transmission. And as you can hear, this throwout bearing is completely shot. So I don't know how good of a job they did or what parts they replaced 70,000 miles ago, but clearly this thing needs to be replaced. So you've got a throwout bearing that should be replaced, the actual clutch should be replaced, the fingers on your pressure plate should be replaced, and I've got the actual flywheel here that I took out just because I wanted to inspect what it looked like and take it to a machinist to make sure that this thing isn't warped, because if you go through all the trouble of just replacing the clutch, so if you just pay someone to just replace the clutch, they're gonna probably just walk past the flywheel and say that's okay, and they're gonna walk past this thing right in here called the rear main seal, which is right behind that flywheel. I'm gonna say that's okay, I'm just paid to change a clutch. And so the problem is that you're walking past a lot of parts in here that really should be getting replaced, and to replace just these parts is going to require dropping the whole transmission again. So it pays so many dividends to just do it right the first time and get quality parts, pay the extra money, pay a little bit extra time, but just do it right the first time. And so on this car, I'm now going to be working on also taking out this rear main seal and putting in a new one, cleaning this thing up, because that is obviously not doing its job of keeping oil inside the engine. It's letting that oil seep past the crankshaft and get out. So that is a part that needs to be replaced. And we've also got a pilot bearing which sits right in here. I'll try to get a good angle at it. But this pilot bearing right here also isn't doing a great job. And so the issue with, you know, the play in this pilot bearing is that it lets the input shaft on your transmission wobble around, and that wobbling is going to make the splines in this clutch not do a good job of staying tight. So basically you just get a ton of problems, and you know, this can end up actually just spinning out the clutch, overheating the pressure plate. I'm going to be taking this into a machinist on Monday, it's Sunday today, to get all this stuff actually serviced and done right.